New at 5, we're now hearing from some of the Oklahoma National Guard soldiers who volunteered to serve at the U.S. Mexico border.
We told you Governor Kevin Stitt offered the state of Texas some help with redirecting migrants to proper entry points into the U.S. instead of crossing the border illegally. Fox 23 weekend anchor Rick Marriott spent a day in El Paso, Texas. He joins us now in studio with a first-hand look at the work Oklahomans are doing there.
I kind of had in mind what to expect, but seeing it for myself, there definitely were moments where it came full circle about how bad things can be down there at all hours of the day. The line between opportunity and oppression is razor thin. And guarding that line on the U.S. Mexico border to make sure people coming in get properly processed, at least for the next month, are Oklahomans, some from green country.
I did not know what to expect coming. I just figured I was just going to see a lot of them every day.
50 Oklahoma National Guardsmen, under orders from Governor Kevin Stitt to assist the Texas National Guard, volunteered to go to El Paso, a city that's seen some of the heaviest illegal immigration levels in recent years. Senior Airman Colise Thomas is from Muskogee. She says she's watched the border crisis play out on TV and on social media for years, and she wanted to see it for herself. Within a week, she's already seen dozens of migrants walk right up to the razor wire, begging to be let in.
I can't really describe it because I'm like, whoa, like what are they going to put their kid through there? But yes, they are putting their kids through there just to get able to cross over. So it's very devastating when you see it.
Even in the short time I was there, groups of migrants began to gather. Some just come to stare into the U.S. Others, it's believed, are looking for weaknesses and vulnerabilities where they might be able to make a run for it, especially at night. I want to just show you what they are mainly doing. It is protecting this wire here. This is where immigrants will come up and they will try to claw through. Some of them will offer bribes. Some of them will have their children pleading to get into America. The main goal here is not necessarily to open fire or anything like that. It is to redirect them to the proper port of entry. Every so often, you will see clothing like this. No one is getting stuck crawling through the wire, but instead, migrants will either unpack a piece of clothing or remove their shirts to try to protect their hands as they pull down the razor wire.
That's not easy to see all the time, but you know whatever we do, we just ask them to go through the ports of entry to do it legally.
Captain Jace Crowder is from Tulsa. He says people have tried to offer him fists full of cash, and others have even pleaded for him just to take their young children, saying they'll stay behind as long as they feel their children can experience what the United States has to offer with liberty and economically.
They ask all the time if, just let them in. They'll offer money, they'll do whatever, but we just stand on this side and we tell them to go to the points of entry or ports of entry, just so they can come in legally.
At no time will the Oklahomans standing watch open fire or point their guns at anyone. The orders are simple. Make them cross the border at proper points of entry where they can be screened, processed, and the dangerous ones turned away. While none of the troops I spoke with have seen bricks of drugs or any blatant human trafficking, they tell me they know it happens. And if they weren't there putting up more barriers and maintaining what has been put up next to the wall, it could happen more often and more easily.
We're not law enforcement. We're a show of force, and we're here to deter illegal immigrants.
Once their month is up, National Guardsmen from Texas will stay behind and be supported by others from Idaho, Florida, and other states, whose Republican governors feel the federal government could be tougher on what goes on down here, but isn't. Another 50 Oklahomans are set to deploy to the border next year. It's not clear if they will go back to the same spot in El Paso I was told they go where needed most when it comes to helping the Texas National Guard.
Now, Rick, we heard a lot during the Trump administration about building a wall, and there is a wall-like structure in El Paso that we saw in some of your video. Has any of that helped?
Yeah, we can pull up some of that video and show you what the El Paso wall looks like. Let's take a look at it. I spoke with some in the Texas National Guard down there. You can see the wall to the left, and that is the razor wire to the right. There is a wall there that was actually built by the state of Texas and the city of El Paso during the Obama years. It was during the Trump presidency that razor wire and barbed wire were put on top of it. These people are very desperate to get in the U.S. They have tried climbing over that wall with ladders and ropes, and that's why you also see in front of the wall that razor wire and metal fencing, because it's just putting enough hurdles in place to slow down that run to the U.S. soil. There are other parts of what I asked about that are referred to as Trump's Wall. They are elsewhere, just not in El Paso. Also keep in mind it's summertime. They are on the Rio Grande, and we've heard about those buoys Texas put in place. The water is barely flowing in that part of El Paso, so it's like crossing the street right now because it's so dry. Live in studio covering news that matters, I'm Rick Marin on Fox 23 News.